It was mid-morning when Karen, once again fueled by her unrelenting need to control every corner of the neighborhood, became infuriated over something as trivial as the color of my ranch gate. According to her, the vibrant, custom-painted steel gate clashed with the supposed aesthetic standards she enforced through the HOA, despite the fact that the gate was fully on my property and fully legal. She had been obsessively posting photos to social media, emailing neighbors, and even calling local authorities, claiming that her taste should dictate the visual design of a property she did not own. I had already anticipated her reaction and had prepared a meticulous defense plan, combining technology, legal authority, and sheer unpredictability. Titan, ever vigilant, paced silently along the perimeter, ears alert to every footstep. I observed Karen and her usual minions, Brent and Donut, arriving in a rented SUV, armed with ladders, cameras, and what appeared to be an assortment of spray paint cans and measuring tools. Karen had clearly intended to personally repaint the gate herself or, at the very least, intimidate me into compliance. Brent immediately tripped on a hidden irrigation pipe, falling into a mud puddle and sliding toward Donut, who had been attempting to help him and ended up both drenched and tangled. Karen, ignoring their mishaps, marched toward the gate with a clipboard full of complaints and shouted proclamations about HOA authority and neighborhood standards. I calmly activated the first layer of defenses. Remote hydraulic bollards rose from the ground, preventing vehicle access, while motion sensor sprinklers drenched the trespassers, making progress toward the gate nearly impossible. As Karen tried to step over a sprinkler, she slipped and fell backward, splattering mud across her clothes and ruining her carefully arranged documents. Brent attempted to recover the clipboard and her dignity simultaneously, only to get tangled in the hose from the sprinklers. Donut, meanwhile, panicked and ran toward the driveway, only to encounter the automated gates, which had been programmed to remain locked until the property was secure again. Titan, sensing the escalating chaos, positioned himself between the intruders and the gate, growling low and warning them away with a silent but unmistakable authority. Karen shrieked at the dog, waving her arms, trying to assert dominance, but Titan remained unmoved, circling the group with unyielding precision. The security system had already alerted the local sheriff's office, transmitting live footage of the scene. Within minutes, officers arrived, witnessing the absurd tableau. Karen, soaked and muddy, attempting to read her clipboard while shouting incoherently. Brent sprawled on the lawn, muttering apologies. Donut crouched behind a toppled garden statue, shivering, and Titan, calm and commanding, standing between the trespassers and the gate. After reviewing the footage, the sheriff issued multiple citations for trespassing, interference with private property, and harassment. Karen protested, claiming she was enforcing aesthetic regulations. But the law was clear. The gate, its color, and its entire design fell entirely under my ownership and discretion. I then activated the final layer of defenses: remote stabilization of the gate, motion-activated security lighting, and reinforced perimeter sensors, ensuring that no one could come close enough to damage, alter, or intimidate me or my property. Karen, Brent, and Donut, humiliated and drenched, retreated to their vehicles, leaving behind a trail of mud, toppled ornaments, and shattered egos. I walked to the gate, Titan at my side, inspecting it carefully to ensure it was undamaged and fully operational. The surrounding property remained untouched, my authority reaffirmed, and the trespassers utterly defeated. By evening, neighbors who had observed the incident through live feeds and social media commentary understood the absurdity of Karen's obsession and the futility of her efforts to dictate my property choices. From my porch, sipping coffee and watching the sun set over the rolling fields, I reflected on the undeniable truth. No matter how petty, how brazen, or how obsessive Karen's schemes, any attempt to interfere with my property, enforce false rules, or challenge my authority would be met with meticulous preparation, overwhelming defensive measures, and inevitable public humiliation, leaving her reputation in ruins and my ranch, family, and sovereignty completely secure. Titan barked softly in affirmation, tail wagging, a silent reminder that the property remained untouchable, and any future attempts by Karen or her HOA would end exactly the same way, in chaos, defeat, and lasting humiliation.